Yo, book nerds, happy Banned Books Week. Banned Books Week kicked off yesterday on October 5th and it goes until October 11th. This is a week where we celebrate reading freedom. It is hosted by the American Library Association, and this year's theme is Censorship is so 1984. Read for your rights. I think that is a beautiful theme for this year, and I am so excited to be celebrating banned books, and I want to talk about some banned books. I don't think books should ever be banned. I think that we need to be reading books, even ones that have hard subjects, so that we can have hard conversations about them and about life. Back in 2022 on my channel, I did a video about the most banned classics, and I used a list that the ALA, the American Library Association, the ALA website had posted about the most banned classics in the 20th century. So I thought, because I love classics and it's been 3 years now, I thought it would be fun to look at that list again and see how many more I have read now. So I believe in that original video, I had read 5 of the books on the list, and I think I had 6 on my TBR. Something like that. So let's take a look at the list again and see how many I've read. I'm not going to go through the entire list because there's a lot of books on there. So if you want to check out the full list, I will link it and you can go check it out there and see how many you've read. I'm just going to go through the books that are on my shelf that I have read, and then the ones that are on my physical TBR that I have yet to read. All right, so let's start with the books that I have read. So I know I have read more than 5 now. So up first is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I loved this book. It was so good. I think everyone should read this book. It is so short and it is just a wild ride. Nobody is likable in this book. Like, everyone sucks. And it's such a drama-filled story that I just could not put it down. I flew through it. The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. I think this was banned because of some sexual talk, prostitution. I don't believe it should be banned over this. I read this back in college, it's been a while, it's been probably 10 years. And I remember I liked it a lot, and I don't know why so many people don't like this book. I think the pacing in it is very different than other books, but I still liked it. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I think I've read this book 3 times, and I've loved it every single time. Such important themes, such important topics. I strive to be a parent like Atticus Finch. He is just such a good soul, and it's such a good story. If you have not read To Kill a Mockingbird, this has to be on your bucket list. Do it. It is so good. I know it's a little longer, but it's such a good story. You just gotta read it. 1984 by George Orwell. This is where this year's theme for Banned Books Week has come from. 1984, this book. And I'm happy to say that I read it last year and I really enjoyed it. It is very different than I thought it was going to be, but it is all about Big Brother and government control. And it's so hard to talk about without spoiling things. So I'm not going to say too much, but it was very good and the ending took me by surprise. Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. Another short novella, super easy to read and understand. This story will break your heart. It will. If it doesn't break your heart, do you have a soul? I'm just kidding. But for real, this one is so touching and you just really feel for the characters. They're in such a hard situation. Go read it. Up next, we have a very controversial book, which is Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. I know there's controversy about this book. I read this book when I was in middle school. I just decided I was going to read it, and I did, and I loved it then, and I love the movie, and Like, regardless of the controversy, like, I still love it. I understand the controversy. I just can't help it, guys. It's a really good story. And I feel like I am due for a reread because I know when I was in middle school, I didn't understand everything I read. So I would love to reread Gone with the Wind one of these days. Up next, we have the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. I call it a trilogy. I know it's a book. Like, depending on who you ask, it's a trilogy or it's a book. Like, I don't know. But on the list, it's just listed as the Lord of the Rings. So here it is. I've read them all. They're amazing. You have to read The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. Like, if you are a fantasy fan, especially, like, and you haven't read them, you better go do it. And I don't really know why they were banned, to be honest. Was it because of magic? I don't know. But it's just such a good story. It's a good story of friendship, of overcoming impossible odds and not giving up. It's just beautiful. And then the last book on the list that I have now read is A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. This book, I understand why it has been banned so many times. Like, this book is insane. This is the craziest, most, like, awful content I've ever read in my life. And I think you should go into it knowing that it's very dark and search up trigger warnings before you just dive into it. But I still don't feel like it should be banned. I think everyone should be able to read it. I think it has important discussions about prison, about free will, and I think we need to have these conversations, even though the content is quite honestly horrible. But since reading it, I have not been able to get this book out of my head. It will be part of my brain forever, honestly. It left such an impression on me. I don't know what that says about me, but it's the truth. So, yes, Clockwork Orange. It's intense, but if you can handle it, it's worth the read. So if we count The Lord of the Rings as one book, because that's how they did it on the list, I have now read 8 books. So 3 more since last time I did this 3 years ago. So about 1 a year. That's pretty good, I think. Let's see how many are on my physical TBR now. Up first, Lord of the Flies by William Golding. I have heard so much about this book and I definitely want to read it soon. I just think I need to be in the right mood because I know it involves children and, like, I have my own kids, guys, so I need to be in the right mood to read about things that are this. I would classify this maybe as like horror, and I need to be in the right mood when it involves children because it will affect me. It will. So, Lord of the Flies. Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. I don't know much more about this besides the fact that it is a war novel. So again, I need to be in the right mood for a war novel, but I'm definitely interested in reading this. Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. I honestly don't know much about this book at all, but I just saw it and thought it was beautiful, and I had heard of it before and I just had to have it. So someday I will get to this. And then lastly, we have Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. I, again, don't know a ton about this story, but still want to read it. So that is it for my physical TBR. I only have 4 on my physical TBR now from the list. So I might need to remedy that because I think before I had 6. And so, I mean, it's good that I'm reading them and moving them off my physical TBR, but I still want to be reading banned books. So I need to get some more banned books on my shelf. Some more banned classics because, you know, I love classics. Right now, I am currently reading a banned book. It was not on the list, but it has been banned. I know that, and it's a classic, so I'm just going to mention it here at the end. But I am reading Essential Tales and Poems by Edgar Allan Poe. I've read some of his poetry and short stories before, but I am doing a deep dive into his works, and I am enjoying it. I've just started, but man, these are great stories for spooky season, great stories for Banned Books Week. Like, I'm just checking all the boxes and I'm enjoying it a lot. So there you have it. And like I said, go check out the full list and see how many you've read or how many are on your TBR. Drop down in the comments and let me know. Let me know which that I have, which of the 4 on my physical TBR that you think I should read first, and I will try to prioritize that. I hope you have a lovely week. I hope you go read some banned books and celebrate this week and read for your rights. Censorship is so 1984, guys. Hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks for talking books with me.